Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So in this video what I'm going to be doing is working on my brother's Tahoe. So we've had this truck for quite a long time, probably about 5 or so years, and it's been a great vehicle. It's coming up on 220 or more thousand miles. It's got a little motor noise, a little valve train noise, but nothing we can't fix once it eventually grenades. But he recently, or I guess a little while ago, got into a little bit of an accident and somebody rear-ended him. Not his fault, so luckily we got a little bit of a payout, but since we do a lot of work on our own, decided we'd probably fix it ourselves. So I'll show you guys what we're looking at for damage over here. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So the guy was like, oh, just clipped you there, but he kind of did quite a bit of damage. So in order to do this the right way, the whole quarter would need to really be changed out. Instead, I bought some cheater panels for it. So the cheater panel runs right here, just like this. So what we should be able to do is cut this old piece out and put our new piece in, and I'm trying to figure out exactly the best way to do that. On the other hand, this side is rusted pretty badly down here, and there's a ding over here too. So you may end up doing this side too. I'm going to see how that side goes. If that side goes really well, then maybe we'll do this side too, just because it's rotted and we're already going to have the paint and everything, so might as well do it. Hopefully you guys noticed that I got a new camera, so got myself a Hero 7, so we're shooting in 4K now. It's going to be the first video I do in 4K, so we'll see how it goes. I'll try to render it and everything and post it in 4K as well. We'll see how long the footage is and how big the files are, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know what you think about the quality. But yeah, so we got to get to work on this old girl here. It's been broke for a while now, but I aim to get it fixed. So let's start pulling it apart. I know I got to pull the wheel liner apart here, or the probably the wheel liner too, but also the fender flare, and this plastic piece has to come off, which I think it's riveted on the bottom. I have to drill that out, and then the tail light's got to come off. And then I'm going to go ahead and get our cheater panel and see what it's looking like up against here. I have an idea that I'm going to try to overlap it over this one, and it may sound kind of hood, but you guys will see once I get it. It probably won't be as bad as you think, but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we can make this thing right again. So I went in to get the keys and get a little bit of energy drink action. If you guys like energy drinks, you know these are king. These are really good. Better flavors, but good result. Anyway, ready to get some work done. Got it off. What I need to do still is get a heat gun and heat up this wheel arch here, and then tape, because there's 3M adhesive tape on the whole thing here. So if it baked in the sun, it would be better, but not warm yet today, so I'll go ahead and hit it with a heat gun. I'm going to go ahead and unlock it, open the lift gate here, and then we'll be able to take the taillight out and see what we're looking at. But that piece basically just peeled right off, and yeah, I basically broke all the clips because they're all so badly smashed in there. But I'll probably be able to jam them through once I take the wheel liner out, and we'll use some new clips there. But yeah, that's just part of it. These things are all rusted and full of sand too, for the most part, so we'll do the best that we can. Alright, so we got that fender flare off. Only a little bit of adhesive on here, most of it's on the flare. We'll have to get that off later. Debating whether or not probably take this part off too at some point, because this has got some been banged on a concrete wall or something at some point before we owned it. But yeah, so looking pretty good here. Took it off. It's surprising, the rust isn't really that bad over here. I'm really happy about that. It's not really rusted there or up here, only down here, which is I'm changing anyway, so that's pretty awesome. So what we really got to do is I'm gonna go get the cheater and show you what we're looking at. But only thing we're gonna have to do probably that I didn't think about is take off the roll pan, but is what it is. We're gonna have to get in here and drill out all these little spot welds. I'll probably grind all these back until we can get in here, and then we'll be able to just peel this old panel off and hopefully put the new one on. And yeah, I'd like to sleeve it. We gotta see, so we got some chip paint up in here, so we gotta see, this is probably creased, so I might want to take it all the way up here with the cheater. So it's nice because it's only this amount that's gonna show. This is all covered, so yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Sucks we got this dent here. Be nice if we could fix this, but I don't know as far as the color goes. But if I'm gonna paint the wheel arch, then maybe I would blend into it anyway. I might just blend into the wheel arch. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. If the wheel arch is not damaged, I might not paint it at all. But yeah, maybe that's what I'll end up doing. But we're gonna see what we have to do and what we can do and get away with. But this bracket is a little bent, but we should be able to bend it back in place. And we'll have to attach this to the cheater because it doesn't have it on the cheater. But I'm gonna go get that and show you guys what that looks like, and then we'll start mocking this up for exactly where we're gonna cut here, and I can take the roll pan off too. You guys can see I got the roll pan off. It's still full of stuff from coming back from school, but yeah, we got the whole roll pan off. We got a little bit of rust down here that we can treat, and the bottom of the roll pan was starting to rust, so we can treat that as well, and down over here too. So want to get rid of any rust that we can. We'll probably dress up the frame rails a little bit too while we're back here, but yeah, anything that we can do we will. And so coming over here, you can see we have all these factory spot welds. So, you know, here. I'm going to try my best to grind this and not go all the way through, because then we'll use these on the other pieces. We'll mark them, and we'll use these as areas to weld our panel to, so that we can wrap it and have it nice and tight here, all still welded, while we do the panel bonder over there. But yeah, this is going to be nice for us. I'm pretty excited. We're making some good progress on here. So I think there's spot welds underneath too. I can see them, so I'm gonna have to find those on the underside too, and we'll drill those out, and then we can attach to this back panel after we clean it all up. This back panel in here really isn't that rusted, so that's pretty nice to see. We're gonna have something to weld to, and I think it's gonna be a really solid repair that's gonna last for years. So I'm pretty pumped. Yeah, let's get to work. Alright, so I'm ready to fire up this die grinder here. I got it set up with a bit of a thicker wheel on here, so I'm going to use this to grind these spot welds down here just enough. Hopefully the sunlight doesn't mess you up. Just enough, going to grind them down so that we can pull this panel off, but not all the way through this panel too. So hopefully we can get them. So I'm going to go ahead and do these side ones, and we'll jam something in here, peel this back, and we got some underneath like I said, so I'm going to go ahead and work on this. This should take me a little while, but yeah, once we get it all done, we'll be able to just peel this panel back, and then we'll find out exactly where we're going to cut it here. Probably want to replace this piece back here. I got to see where it falls. Seems like it comes up a little ways. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to mock it all up, but it'll be nice to just, we can chop it right here, and then we'll be able to fit it up a little bit better and a little bit easier. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get to work. So I decided over here that it would be in my best interest to pop the wheel off and get it up on the jack so I'd have more room to access everything down here. And I also took the wheel liner out. It's a bunch of 7s. There's like a few on that side and a few on this side, and then a couple of snap clips, and everything comes all apart. And I have additional welds here. I got some on the bottom, as you can hopefully tell from down here. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 yeah, probably just 7 more spot welds to get rid of. and then this whole panel should be loose, and I can figure out exactly where I'm going to chop it here, and we can get inside of there and see what it looks like on the inside, see if it's rusted and if we need to treat it. Definitely going to treat some of this inner wheel well stuff here while we're in here. You know, just whatever we can do to make it last a little bit longer for them. But yeah, it's looking actually pretty good in here, not too bad at all. Brake landings look pretty good too. So yeah, we're gonna get this going on here, and he should be good to go for a while. All right, so I got all the other spot welds drilled out over here, and this panel is free floating now. It doesn't seem like it, but it's loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my cut, put a tape line down. I'm cutting it right at the body line. It'll be about right here on this panel, so we should have enough to overlap. I'm gonna cut on the bottom edge of this tape line, and we'll see how straight we can get with the old angle grinder. Alright guys, there it is. We got this thing off, all done with that, right? So you can see the rot is really bad back here. This panel wasn't going to last too long anyway, so you know, it's about time to get rid of it in the bottom and right over there too. If you look in here, we got a little bit of rot here, but this should be something we can clean up and fix. And it's nice they got some support structure here, so I don't have to worry about once we put this new panel on, maybe we'll do a little bit of foam in here, but not too much to worry about right here. This is nice. I'm excited. Got it off. We got a nice clean cut. We had one little mishap, but you know, not too worried. We got a bond to this whole section anyway. So the method that I want to do is like going to be a slight overlap. So we got to figure out exactly how that panel fits on, and yeah, that's going to be our next step. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off all of our surfaces here and make sure that everything is, you know, going to be ready for us, and we'll see if we can start with doing some rust converter on this stuff, and you know, converting some of this rust, and then we'll move on to getting the panel fitted up there. Alright guys, so it got super windy and cold, and it was about to rain, so I decided to pick everything up and get it all tidied up just in case it decides to downpour. I'm ready. I could just leave this, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't rust too bad. It's only supposed to rain for a couple hours if it does. Well, for right now the rain's holding off, but it is pretty cold. So I got this panel sort of fitted up like I want it. I don't know the last thing I showed, but I got all the, you know, this guy cut out. Took out the whole fender liner in there, and now I have better access, but I'm struggling with getting this thing fitted. So it looks like it fits pretty good over here. This fitment is actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that corner there. I just got to dress it up a little bit, but this corner is not fitting so good. You can see it's kind of tight up top, but if I push it over, it seems like it's way out. It's very far out towards me, more so than this side, I think, but at the same time, this side kind of meets with the lift gate. It's a little bit lower, and this side is like a little bit lower too, so I'm not sure. It's not too bad, but it does have to be kicked over that way a little bit, so I'm probably going to open the lift gate and try to smack it and just see if I can get it straight. I've just been messing with this. This is the hardest part here, is trying to get the panel to fit good. I want to make sure I got a tight gap everywhere here. I know on the bottom I'm barely touching. That matters kind of less to me. So I know right now I got to trim this right here, so I'm going to take a little bit more of this off, and then should be able to hopefully work it a little bit better. It's a tough process though of getting this all straightened out. I know I'm pretty good right here, so yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming out. I should be able to yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I don't know, I'm pretty happy. Otherwise, the only issue is this right here, but we're gonna correct that right now, hopefully, and we'll see if we can drive it this way with by smacking it or something. But yeah, that's what we're working with right now, so pretty happy. All I need now is some panel bonder, and we can get this thing all glued up. Alright, so I got most of the hard part done, I think. I'm pretty sure I like the way that the panel sits. you notice I kind of went flush on my, oh, you won't be able to see it here. See if I can get it to readjust. But yeah, I went flush on these edges right here. That way you'd be able to weld it there, and then I'll trim this edge after. But this will all be covered by the flare anyway. But I'll be able to weld this up into this point, and then from here it's overlapping, and I'm actually drilling holes through both panels here, and I'm putting self-tapping screws in here. So this is what's going to actually clamp the panel bond here. So that's what we're going to do there. So once I get this all set up with all my holes, everything will go right back in the exact same spot. I'm going to do it here on the underside and as well as in here. But you can see I got the taillight in and everything fits pretty good. I'm pretty happy actually. I was worried about the fitment, but it seems like it's going to be good. I put the roll pan in and that fits too. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than it was. Panel gaps might not be 100%, but you know, it is what it is. It's going to be good for what it is and the amount of work we're going to put into it. So I went maybe a little overkill here with all the screws. I'm going to put a few more on the bottom, and probably put some over here too, because I'll end up, I don't know, I might just use spot welds over here. For the most part, panel bond's going to be good for right here and on the bottom, and over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, see if I can put a couple of self-tappers in here to hold myself tight. Hopefully it doesn't change too much about my angles and everything, but everything's looking pretty good. So I'm going to keep on plugging away here and see if we can get a little more progress. So I've just been going crazy and putting tons of screws in this thing. I just want to make sure that it lines up exactly where I need it to when I'm ready to go ahead and panel bond it. I don't want any uncertainties. So I got tons of screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, bunch on the top, a few underneath, and a bunch on this side too, which really tightened the gap up, made everything look really nice. Hopefully you guys can see. It looks really, really good. I'm pumped. It's honestly going to come out good. I got to remember to push in over here when I tack weld this in the corner here, but I should only have to weld the corner areas. Not even going to worry too much about doing all this. I'll panel bond. I'm going to grind the whole back side of this. I'll panel bond this too. So yeah, other than these couple of corners over here, I'm not going to have to do much welding, which is ideal. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It looks really good. The body lines line up good, and I did test fit the roll pan in there and it fit without all the screws obviously. So I think we're going to be all set. I do have the panel bonder now, so I'm going to start off by taking this back off, make sure I have everything marked, which I did mark it all with Sharpie where it goes. So I'm going to take it off and I'm going to start prepping both pieces to actually get it all glued up. So I'm going to scuff both surfaces to bare metal, because the panel bonder adhesive, the 3M, wants bare metal. So we'll go bare metal on everything, and then we'll go ahead and get it all bonded up. And then after we bond it, I'm thinking we might want to tack it while the panel bond is drying, just at least over here, or maybe I'll throw a clamp on it. Yeah, I think I'll just throw a clamp on it in the meantime while it's drying, and we can weld it at a later date. But yeah, for right now, we're looking pretty good. I have to put a little bit of filler in this corner and wrap it, but we should be all right. I'll straighten all that out after with all the body filler, but I'm pretty stoked. It's gonna look really good, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it all back apart, and then we'll get everything nice and ground. So I took off my piece and I went ahead and cleaned everything up. Got it all, you know, down to bare metal with my grinder, and I went ahead and went over all this stuff here with a rust converter. So after this thing is all rust converted, they say they want you to wait 48 hours. I don't usually do that, so we're just gonna let it dry for a little while, and then I'm gonna go ahead and top coat it with something, and then I'll grind those areas back again that I have to grind, such as this area right here and down below. And once I grind those areas again, we'll be ready to actually panel bond this thing in place. So pretty pumped, just about there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this stuff dry for a little while, and it should convert all this rust. So I ground all this as much as I could, and you spray this stuff on there and it's supposed to convert it to an inert material. I don't think they actually make this anymore, but I still had a can lying around, and I think this is the best stuff right here. It says it converts it to black primer. The other stuff that they have now is just like it sprays on like black primer, so you don't really know that it's converting, but this, you can actually see it darkens the rust, and it was more orange and now it's looking a lot darker, so should work pretty good. I also got all my surfaces on this piece too, so down on the bottom, this edge, this back edge, and down inside of there I had to do by hand, but got everything all set. So I just got to clean up now with I think denatured alcohol is what you're supposed to use. So I'm gonna get some denatured alcohol before I get it all ready to panel bond, and then I'll clean it up nice so we have good adhesion. We'll clamp this thing and that will sit overnight for sure, and then tomorrow we can begin to do a little bit of body filler work on this thing. So I have been hard at work. I did end up getting everything all cleaned up, and I put the panel bonder on and I was able to fit it up. It was kind of a whole issue. I wasn't able to film it because I kind of got started without filming, and there's only a certain set time, and then my old coworker showed up to drop off his truck so I could get the brakes done on that. So with all that going on in the background, I didn't end up filming it, but I will show you guys what I ended up with. So you can see we got the panel bonder everywhere. I put it on the back side of this piece and on this piece as well. Everywhere that was bare metal I covered, except for the areas here that I can get to. But everything that was bare metal I covered with the panel bonder because it is corrosion resistant and it should help to seal everything off. So I covered all those surfaces as well as over here. So you can see I ran it all along there, as well as all inside of here. You can see it's all oozing out, and the screws hit everything, so they were able to clamp it all down. So we did really well, and we are squeezed over here too, you can see. So I have good ooze out everywhere, and we have no gaps everywhere, anywhere, so should be good. I have this one clamp holding it, but I'll leave this until it's firm to the touch, which I can still kind of put my nail in it, so it's not quite there yet, but it's gonna sit overnight, and then I'll be ready to grind it tomorrow morning. And we can tap this down a little bit over here and make a couple areas look a little bit nicer than they do now, and we'll get some things straightened out here. But yeah, overall really happy with the way it came out. Just have to do all the body work now and make everything look straight, and that's about it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, but this is it for tonight. So that is going to cap it off for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. There will be definitely a part 2 and probably part 3 as well. So part 2 is probably going to be the body work and primer work, and part 3 should be painting. So part 1 is done. We got our panel fitted. I do want to do the other side because he's got rust on the other side too, so I'll get to that as well, but it's just going to be more of the same process, so I won't show you that. But I will get to the second side at some point this week, hopefully. And then once I do go to spray it, I'll be using my new spray gun, which is a Developus GTI Pro Lite. So I'm pretty pumped to use this. Just got it. My wonderful girlfriend got it for me. She's awesome and knew that this is exactly what I wanted for a spray gun. And so she got it for me, and it's awesome. This is perfect. So I can't wait to see how well it lays down some paint. I've never had a really nice spray gun, so now I'm the only limiting factor and not the gun itself. So I know that my job's going to come out the best that I can possibly spray, and I would like to get some practice in before I shoot the Honda. So this is a whole car, and spraying a whole car takes a lot of effort and a lot of practice, and you got to know exactly what you're doing. So I would like to practice on the Tahoe first, and my brother doesn't mind that I practice on his, so I'm sure it'll come out great, but I just want to know that I have the confidence to shoot with this new spray gun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you look forward to part 2, please subscribe and stick around. Hopefully you enjoyed the first 4K production here, and we'll see how it comes out in the edit. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and peace out.